for someone involved in social work, whether it's teaching or any job that works with people, other people, how can people, or how can the worker make sure that they don't take on too much from other people?
You have to know your measure. You have to know your balance, your quotient, your limit of karmic intake. So you have the outflow, which is massive, and then you have the inflow, which could also be massive. So, some people can do more of the outflow, and some people need more of the inflow, because they're at that level of, let's say, life, where they need more for themselves. Others need to give more from themselves. So it's an equation that the individual has to manage for their own purposes. So having a good basis for practice, neutralizing your neuroses, acknowledging it, what makes you uptight, what makes you angry, what makes you upset, what makes you confused, what blows you out, knowing that, and accepting that as part of your blood debt, see, that you need to work on and neutralize. Because you have plenty of time to study your neuroses and what you're doing, what you're saying, who you're doing it with, and so on and so forth. So you want to use your creative intelligence to say, how can I do it better? How can I do this better? How can I rearrange it so that I'm not taking on too much karma? See, I like the person, so I'm teaching them, but I have to cut down the amount of time, because when I go beyond a certain limit, I start feeling like hell. Because I'm spending time in their world, and it kills me to be in that world. See? So you manage that. It's part of the science of knowing how to be with who. See? How to be with what. See? Karma. See? Make it work for you. So you have some exposure, then you free yourself from it. Save yourself from it. Some people need to work in hospitals, emergency rooms. A lot of karma there. I've heard from friends say, whoa, it's like a battlefield, battle zone. Yeah. It is exactly like that. Yeah. So you have to manage that. You got to work with that. But you got to do your job. You got to make your money, but you have to take care of yourself. Not kill yourself in the process, unless that's what you have to do.
Do you recommend that people do a complete revamping, or maybe having a time where they totally have isolation or totally just have time to themselves?
That has to be part of the balance, whatever it takes. Some people have to go on vacation, just to get away from what they're doing, refresh themselves. I don't say you have to do that. You need to go on a psychic vacation. See? You need to be in another place in yourself, which is not that. See? So ordinarily, you are what you're doing, but spiritually, no, there are many other things you have at your disposal to be. See, inwardly, see, you have heaven inside. You have a lot of beauty and other things inside, depending on your mind. You have hell inside too, depending on your mind. Movies you watch or whatever, people you talk to, all of that is conditioning and more or less padding your basis for experience and healing, if there is any healing, or lack of healing, or sicknesses. All of this is from the intake, the over-intake. Not that it's bad, but you need to gauge how much of what you need. See? The individual has to be responsible for the individual. See? It's not an ego thing. You just have to feel it out. It's not about what yourself thinks. You need to know what's hurting you and what's not hurting you, and then modify and change, rearrange, what you're doing, what your function is, and how much exposure you actually need under certain conditions. Right? And so we trust everybody knows what they got to do. See, keep themselves in the right way. So how are you feeling? Oh, I'm feeling good. I'm managing. Is that good? Comment? Go ahead.